Hello and thanks for watching. I'm Jon Bozeka. This week at Otterbein, the volleyball season has come to an end after a historic run in the NCAA tournament. The last lecture was a huge success, and we are only a week away from Thanksgiving here at the Bein. But first, Clements Hall has had some recent problems with doors on each level of their floors. I went over to Clements earlier this week to ask the concerns of the students living within the dorm itself. I spoke first with freshman Michaela Piper about the worries of a stranger within the dorm.
Unwanted people who obviously don't have a key could get in, and not knowing what they would do, but just the fact that people who obviously don't have a key could get into where I live is kind of weird.
Freshman Clements resident Clayton Fairley is at ease for one huge reason.
It's not perfect, but at least you have to swipe to actually get in the building.
While Fairley is at ease, he has noticed a trend with the doors themselves.
They break and then they fix them and then they break again right away. So I noticed it for a while, but they get fixed for a little bit and then they'll break a couple days later.
A non-resident sneaking into the dorm is possible, but would have to sneak past an RA to do so. Junior RA Perry Reynolds indicates that this is harder than it may seem.
I would say I question them further. I would first ask if that person is coming to meet them at the door. I'm not going to just let them walk freely. And then I would ask them who they were going to see, and if that person didn't come down, I'd probably escort them there myself and make sure that they met up with the person they wanted to see.
There are 3 doors that are broken within Clements Hall. They are all on the right side of the dorm to the end that faces closest to Grove Street. The door leading into the lounge and the 2nd and 3rd floor doors leading into the hallways are all broken. Fairley went on to say in the interview that he has seen the service department working on the doors from time to time over the past few weeks, yet they continue to turn up broken after being fixed. Well, on Tuesday night at City Council, an issue of zoning came up with a piece of land that Otterbein had purchased last school year. Otterbein purchased 32 acres of land by Cleveland Avenue for the campus master plan. But the city is trying to figure out how to zone off the full 95 acres of land closest to Cleveland Avenue for the most practical use possible. With the city trying to approve the zoning and Otterbein becoming part of the process, I sat down with Rebecca Vasquez-Skillings, Vice President of Business Affairs here at Otterbein.
What's really sort of driving the timing of this now is that there is one potential buyer who would like to have the zoning settled before actually finalizing the sale. The goal of the city is to ensure that what is planned for that 95 acres is good development. They see this as sort of their one opportunity to plan 95 acres in the middle of the city. So this is, in a sense, sort of the last development opportunity, kind of right in the middle of Westerville. We've seen a lot of the development north of that area, but this is really one of the larger parcels that's right in the middle of Westerville.
When we come back from Thanksgiving break this week at Otterbein, we'll have the full follow-up for this story. Well, last week on This Week, we spoke about the last lecture, which was given by Dr. Carrie Strayer, professor here in the Communications Building. On Monday night of this past week, she gave the lecture to the chapel to a crowd of individuals from Otterbein and from outside the campus as well. This week, we asked her how the speech went and how she thought it was received.
Well, I was really excited about it. I told my husband only 41 minutes, and I think I was pretty close to that. No, it was overall very well received. I had everybody from a class of FYE up through some adult students I had, and alumni. My dad and stepmom came. It was a great audience, about 65. They said the biggest audience that they've had. And like I said, I've gotten good reports back.
Well, Grace Lenehan in now with Arts and Entertainment. And Grace, I heard the last lecture went very well, and I hear there's a new club that's trying to start up here on campus.
Yeah, it was a club before, but now they're having trouble getting approved. The Otterbein Swing Dance Club was once a functioning group on campus, but has had some trouble getting approved as an official club. OTV sat down with a member of the group, junior Kevin Gabira, to find out more. Take a look.
I found out about it freshman year. My friend Paul was going to the first meeting of the year. It was run by 2 folks who have now graduated. So I went expecting just to watch and just hang out, watch him embarrass himself pretty much, but they made me embarrass myself and dance along and join in, which was, I'm glad I did, because it kind of gave me, met new people through it and went places that I didn't have.
The group used to practice right here in Roush Hall, but they ran into a few problems when they tried to become approved on campus.
So we weren't accepted on campus as a club. We had to, it's not like we didn't try. We had to write like a constitution and stuff like that, and the guy of the group kind of like thought it was funny, and so we kind of like didn't take it serious enough, and so obviously they didn't take him seriously, and we didn't become a group.
Gabura also felt that having to establish certain positions to be approved on campus would ruin the dynamic of the group.
We see ourselves as a family. We don't see ourselves as some kind of we don't want to have a president, and we don't want to have like some kind of like formality. We wanted it to be friendly. You need like to be dancing. You can't like be all like upright and strict and uptight.
Even through all the obstacles, Gabura hopes that in his senior year at Otterbein, the group can be restarted.
In my last year here, if I could just like at the beginning of the year like focus on making the Constitution like understandable. It's supposed to be endearing and not pushing people away.
Well, even though Thanksgiving is right around the corner, there is still a lot going on around campus in the days leading up to break. And here's a look at some of those events in this week's community calendar. And that's it for arts and entertainment. Now, David, there's a lot going on in the athletics at Otterbein, aren't there?
Yeah, a lot of sports ending and a lot of sports just starting here around campus, and the curtain fell on the 2013 football season in Ada, Ohio Saturday as the Cards fell to Ohio Northern 42-21. Thomas Linder, playing in his final game, got in at quarterback after an injury to starter Ben Sizemore, and Linder threw his first career touchdown pass to tight end Chad McCray. Cornerback Alex Cameron returned an interception 20 yards for a touchdown, and Austin Jones and Zach Greaves both had a game-high 13 tackles. Otterbein finished the season 5-5 and in a three-way tie for fourth place in the OAC. We take a look back at the top 5 plays from the football season, brought to you by OTV and WOBN's coverage of the games. Check it out.
Takes the snap, he's going to look deep down the field. He's going to step up, and he's sacked from behind by Zach Greaves, and I don't think they'll have time to get off another play. The clock is counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and that's going to be it. The Cardinals win. The Cardinals win here in New Concord. They survive a huge game as they don't have enough time to get the ball off.
Sizemore looking to throw. He has it to Frenzel, and Frenzel has the first down. He breaks one tackle. He's across the 50-yard line to the 40. One man to beat for Bryce Frenzel. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Otterbein! They take the lead here in the Rhine River rivalry. It gives to Irvin, and he has some room to run as he crosses the 30-yard line. Back to the original line of scrimmage. He's out to the 50. Another long run for Irvin. One man to beat. He's at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Drew Irvin. He scores from his own 24-yard line, and he crosses the goal line, and he's gone over 100 yards on the day now. Drew Irvin.
Get the tight end involved in their offense.
Fakes the give to Rudolph. Sizemore throwing off his back foot. And what a catch by Bryson Ray! Oh my goodness! He makes an unbelievable one-handed catch for the touchdown from 22 yards.
44 yards. This will be a career long for Garrett Butler. 3 of 8 on the year. He's made from 35, 25, and 40. Good snap, good hold, and it is blocked by Otterbein. And there's a scrum for the ball as It's picked up by Jordan Boniface. And he's crossing the 50-yard line. He has no one to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Otterbein. Jordan Boniface scores on the block kick from 44 yards out. And there's only 16 seconds left on the scoreboard. Otterbein goes up by 2 touchdowns. The basketball season tipped off Friday at Case Western Reserve University, with the Cardinals falling to Kenyon and then defeating Anderson in the consolation game. Through 2 games, Jake Bischoff and freshman Jake Phillis are leading the way, averaging 15.5 points per game for the Cage team. After beating Anderson for the first victory of the season, Harrison Ralph talked to second-year head coach Todd Adrian and sophomore guard Jake Bischoff.
After a 20-point defeat in their season opener, the Otterbein men's basketball team evened their overall record with an 80-68 win over Anderson University in the consolation round of the Case Western tournament in Cleveland, Ohio. Jake Bischoff, a mid-season transfer last December, led the team with 18 points, while first-year players Matt Rhodes and Jake Phillis joined the sophomore with double-digit scoring totals.
Well, it was great yesterday. Even though we lost, we got a lot of guys some experience, which is really valuable, especially at this level. Today was just different because really we had a game under our belt, and we did come in with jitters, and we knew today we just needed to be more energetic and have a lot of fun, and we did that.
I like the way our guys progressed today. I mean, we are going to get better every half we play, and as a staff, we break it down like that. You know, we've played 4 halves of basketball now because we get to talk to them in between, you know, half 2 and 3 and 3 and 4, and we're teaching as much as we can right now.
I felt good because the bigs were giving me great screens to run off of, and the point guards were finding me, Jake Phillis and Matt McCollister, Jason Davis. I got to give the credit to them because I shot wide open shots all night, so that was really helpful.
I thought our upperclassmen did a really nice job of leading us better today. Yesterday was, as expected, jittery, you know, nervous. A lot of guys out there in new positions and playing some meaningful spots, but you know, it was a good win for our guys.
12 of the team's 17 roster spots are occupied by underclassmen. So what does it mean for such a young team to pick up an early season win?
It shows them that they can do it, and we brought them here because they're great players and they can help us win. And I think winning is contagious, and so we just need to keep this rolling going forward, bring a lot of confidence to the team.
I like it as a coach when we can get a group of guys working together and then they have some success. You know, my fear is that we're getting better, but the wins don't come, and that might still be the reality. But for this group, as long as we get better every half and every practice, I think long term the W's are going to start, you know, tallying up.
So what kind of team are the 2013-2014 Otterbein Cardinals?
We're a fun group. I think when we play with energy, then that really helps us because that's our personality off the court. So if we apply that to the court, that makes us the best team we could be.
With Otterbein, I'm Harrison Ralph.
Otterbein will next take to the court Friday in the opener of the Smokey Ballinger tournament at the Reich Center against Ohio Christian. You can hear myself and Jon Bozeka with the call on 97.5 WOBN. The volleyball season also came to an end this weekend. With the final record of 27-8, they set the school record for most wins in a season. For the first time in school history, Otterbein advanced in the NCAA tournament after 3 consecutive seasons of losing in the first round. On Thursday last week, they defeated DePauw University 3-0 before falling to the nation's top team in Hope 1-3. Tabitha Piper and Annie Junger were both named All-Americans for their incredible seasons. A young Otterbein women's basketball team is off to a slow start this season. They traveled to Franklin, Indiana this week and lost both games to DePauw and Denison. Maddie Miller is leading the way in scoring for Coach Connie Richardson's squad with an average of 14.5 points per game. Jacob Barker and Josh Overholzer have the call the next time the ladies take to the floor this Monday against Wittenberg at the Reich Center. So, John, a lot of sports ending, a lot of sports starting here on campus, a very exciting time athletically.
Yeah, always great to see that transition from fall sports to winter sports. I love basketball. I don't think there's many things that are better. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. On behalf of Grace and David and the entire crew, I'm Jon Bozeka. We will catch you next time after the break, and thanks for tuning in.